Hey everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today. I have this gorgeous bright and bold card for you featuring the Eastern Palace suite of products. The supplies that I used on this will be listed over on my blog and the description below, but the other supplies I used, which are the Eastern Palace products, will not be available until Monday, May 1st, and that's this stamp set and this framelit set along with the designer series papers and special cardstock packs featuring some of our new in colors. 3 of our new in colors will be available, which will be the Fresh Fig, Tranquil Tide, and Lemon Lime Twist. I am featuring the Lemon Lime Twist in today's video, so you'll get to see that. And I've already pre-cut some designs out of this cardstock. This cardstock was cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored it at 2 3/4 on each side to make that fun gatefold in the front. Here I have 2 pieces of 8 1/2 by 11 strips of cardstock. They're cut at 1 inch thickness. Thickness? Here's a tricky part. Okay, so in order to get this little seam to be in the back of my card, I measured 2 13/16 from the seam to my score mark, and I'm going to score. Then I'm going to take my cardstock out and I'm going to flip it around completely the other way, and I'm going to line that seam up again with the 2 13/16 mark. That's the 16th just past 3/4, and I'm scoring. Now I'm going to trim 3 inches off of each end of this. Now you may be thinking, good Lord, Wendy, this is seeming a little bit ridiculous. I'm trimming 3 inches from the score lines that I just made. So 3 inches from those score lines. And that is going to give me the perfect size belly band for the seam at the back to be covered and the seam on the front to be right in the middle. So you'll see here, and I just am doing this to make sure it fits correctly because, you know, sometimes we score cut wrong. So it does fit correctly. So now I can put this piece together. I'm going to add some adhesive just to the very end of this belly band and close it up. I'm being careful to not push it down and close it, but to actually kind of let it bounce open or be open a little bit when I adhere it together so that it's a little bit loose and it's not like this super tight closed piece. This is a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's cut at 3 1/4 inches long by 5 1/2, and I'm just going to layer it right over the top. I saw absolutely no need to wrap this all the way around this belly band, but if you wanted to make your strips long enough to wrap it all the way around, you would simply follow the same technique that I've already shown you. This is cut at 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 inches. And I'm just going to layer it down. This is basic black. And my last strip is cut at 1/4 inch by 5 1/2 inches. And I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen to adhere this piece because it is thinner than, or I should say my fast fuse adhesive is thicker in width than this piece. So I just used my fine tip glue pen here to glue down this Melon Mambo strip. This color combination makes me super happy. I feel happy every time I look at this color combination. There's something about green, black, and white in any shade really, along with pink, that just makes me smile. So that's what I was going for here because I really thought I could combine elegance with bright and bold and get this really fun, sassy, awesome card. I'm using my basic black archival ink to stamp my images. I cannot say enough things about this ink pad. I love our basic black archival ink. It stamps nice and juicy every time. I can use my photopolymer stamp sets with it with no problem, and it works great. And I almost never have a single issue. If I do have a problem, it's my stamping, it's not the ink. So I prefer the basic black archival ink over StazOn ink. It just, with photopolymer stamps, it works amazingly. So now I'm just placing my dies onto my stamped images. I always prefer to stamp first and then die cut so that I can make sure everything lines up perfectly. It's just easier for me. Some people it's easier in the reverse, but this is easier for me. So I'm going to layer those down and just run them through the Big Shot and get all my pieces cut out. I also have a piece of black cardstock I need to cut out. And then you can see I finished cutting this green piece out with the outside edge as well. So I've got all my little pieces cut out to make, I guess it's a flower. It's really not a flower, but we could call it a flower. And those beautiful intricate cuts that I've gotten on the front of the card there, we're using the other Eastern Palace die cuts. But I showed that earlier this week in other videos, which I'll link to the end of this blog post. So I really didn't think it was necessary to show that process here. I just wanted to save time. So here's a pro tip for you. Put your belly band on first before you put on your embellishment, because I didn't do that the first time and my embellishment was crooked. So put your belly band on first and then line up your little medallion there and add it to the front of the card. And I made it so that the points lined up with the fold in the front. And then I'm going to take this piece here that has these beautiful little petal type images that poke out of the top and bend them up so that they're kind of fluffed up and out of their casing, I guess you could call it. I'm not sure what you would call it. And I'm going to layer this piece down. And then for my very last piece, I just have to add that little melon mambo piece, and I'm going to double up my dimensionals. So I'm putting down one dimensional right in the middle, peeling away the release paper, and then I'm stacking a second dimensional right on top of it and peeling the release paper off of that and adding my little shape in, onto the top. Now hang out with me here for a minute because I have another version of this card that I want to show you, so don't leave me yet, because I'm going to show you something else really cool. And I want to say, if you want information about the Eastern Palace suite of products that's available Monday, there's a link below the video in the description that will take you to my blog post to give you all the information that you need. Okay, so there's the finished card in the first version, which I love. I could not decide which version I enjoyed more, this one or this other one that I'm about to show you. So on this one, I thought, you know what, it would be really pretty to have a little bit more of that pink. I love pink. Pink is my favorite color. Or as they say in, Shelby says in Still Magnolias, pink is my signature color. So that's how I feel about pink. It is my signature color. I love it. So I'm taking little panels and melon mambo that were cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. Actually, to be honest, they were about 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So about 1/8 of an inch smaller than 2 3/4 and about 1/8 of an inch smaller than 4 1/4, so that they would fit nicely on the back of these pieces here. And then I'm just able to close the card, and then look, I've got that gorgeous melon mambo peeking through the medallions. So I really love this card either way. I could not decide which one I liked better. I just kept looking at both of them, trying to make up my mind, because I made two. So there it is. Here are the other Eastern Medallion, or excuse me, Eastern Palace stamp sets. Good grief. Videos. They're videos. These are the other videos. You can click on either one of them to see, to go watch them. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can click on the little circle that has my face in it to subscribe. I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up. Share this video with a friend. I always appreciate that. And leave me a comment, because I love to hear your comments and see what you have to say, especially when they're nice. Bye-bye.